Thank you very much for being here, sharing your time with me. What you see here are two PC-7s in the Alps here nearby. Flying is my other passion beside Vrenelium. But what I take always out of flying is who wants to fly must have the courage to go off the ground. Means if you want to achieve something new, if you want to change your perspective, if you want to see the world in a different way, you have to leave the ground. We heard it yesterday, you have to turn around, and when you're back, landed, step out of the plane, you just see on everything a little bit in a different thing, and all what you wanted to achieve is much easier to go through. So, why a new company? Why Vrenelium AG? Why a new blockchain? The Vrenelium, the third generation blockchain. Why a new cryptocurrency? These are the questions which are put forward if you have another ICO before you. And certainly, what's our aim? As it was said, we looked around and said, basically there are a lot of applications based on blockchains. But the basic blockchain as such, the basic blockchain technology is mostly all over the same, or it's all over the same blockchain taken. So we started up and said, we want to learn from what the market and what the users have found in using all the couple of really existing blockchains. And based on this, we developed the Vrenelium double helix, as we call it. We developed Helios. This is a learning machine, as I will explain later on, and Procyon script languages. These are 3 points out where we based our new blockchain technology. We have, as I said, the new approach, the double helix. The first pillar of this is the proof of meaningful work. We developed further on the proof of work. Proof of work normally means that you have to find a solution to some mathematical problems. And when you have the result, it's over. We said, no, we want to shift this. We want to go out, and there are a lot of companies, a lot of universities, a lot of NGOs which are in need of computer capacity. So we want to go out and say, okay, you deliver us a problem, the miner has to find a solution to this problem, and then he will deliver the result of his research to these organizations. The organizations will confirm to us the receiving of the result and the probability that this result is really the result of the work. Once the miner has found two of these problems, or found the solution to two or three of these two problems, we have a proof of stake. The proof of stake is the second security layer. This makes it also different to a lot of other blockchains which just have one layer of security. We have two layers of security. The proof of stake, but is also enhancing the speed of the transaction because it's based on Helios, as I said, and Helios is producing a trust score. These trust scores allows you to execute the transaction before you already have the confirmation through the blockchain. As I said, it's secure because we have two layers. If someone wants to hack this, it would have to have simultaneously more than 50% of the computing power on the proof of meaningful work and more 50% of the proof of the tokens. And to have these both simultaneously is rather unlikely. It is scalable because Helios is based on self-learning and taking into consideration the market and the market capabilities. It is sustainable because the proof of the meaningful work means that the energy we use to get to a result of this is not without a goal, without an aim, but If it's used for us, then it's offset on another place. So it's ecological wise, some like not really, but near to zero. It's the ecological point. Helios, as I said, and you can find the details also on this flyer. I'm happy to give to every one of you here in the audience. Helios is creating this smart mempole. It's something which we developed on our own. I don't think I have seen it out in the market anywhere else. This smart mempole is giving you an indication on a trust score, so you have your transaction based on this. And we have Procyon, the integrated scripting language. With this Procyon, you can develop your own smart contracts on independent what it is. It's based and have been developed to make smart contracts if they are sophisticated, simple, larger, or whatever it is. Demand and market. I don't think I would have bring you any news if I tell you that the blockchain and the crypto market is huge. That's why we're here. We heard it in the last 2 days, the size and the figures. And I don't want to go into details and to repeat and to bore you with all this, but I think we all agree on this. There are a couple of issues out there in the market and points which have to be addressed. We heard it this morning. Identity. Identity is a huge issue, and we are fully committed to go out there and to find also a solution to this identity problem. It will not be easy because it's a problem which is a worldwide problem, and you have to compete with passports, you have to go compete with governments, and you have to compete with a lot of administration which are fighting for their offices and jobs. So, but identity is a challenge we have to face. Acceptance in the market as such. We said we here are a group of convinced. I don't have to convince you that the cryptocurrency is something which has a future. But if I go out and I go to my grandmother and tell her, hey, listen, do you want to buy a cryptocurrency? She looks at me and say, are you talking about Superman and Krypton or Nimbo Kit or something like this? What is this all about? So credibility out in the market is something which is of a huge importance. That's the reason why we came up with the meaningful work. We want to address this point. We want to make the cryptocurrency accepted by the broad and large audience because it has, at the end of the day, a value, an added value. It's not just only a code encrypted in a block and there, but it's something which helps to another side. We have heard yesterday on this DNA presentation on what could be done. There is also a huge need for capacity usage of computers in institutions like NGOs, like university, in the research. And I think that the acceptance of cryptocurrency has to go also this road. We have to deliver something to the community if we want that the community accepts us in the cryptocurrency. And last but not least, we have to address the speed of the transaction. And that's why we worked on this with the Procyon and the Helios. To use cryptocurrency has to be as fast, as easy as to use a credit card. We heard yesterday on the topic of cashless, the cashless community in the future. Sweden was mentioned, where you barely have a cash flow anymore. Most of the people use credit cards. I just want to remember that about 4 billion or 50% of the world population don't qualify for a bank account. and around about 20% don't qualify in addition to this 50, even if they qualify for a bank account, they don't qualify for a credit card. So till we really will get to the end of a community without cash, it will be a long way. Why am I saying this? Is the more the problem or the arguments of a society without cash will be actual, the more cryptocurrency will be accepted, because then for everyone it's just natural that he doesn't have any physical money anymore in his hands, but it's stored out there in the banks or whatever it is, and he doesn't have a clue how it looks like. So this is the next step then for the cryptocurrency to be accepted, because it's also out there. You don't have a token. We talk about tokens, but normally we don't have a physical token, we have a code. So the more this discussion will come up in the States especially and in Europe, the more this will help to cryptocurrency, and the more we will be able to use our cryptocurrency the way of a credit card. Now the Vrenelium AG, this is the mother company. We developed this. We are committed to keep the third generation blockchain solution up to date, but we are offering then also consultancy for clients, integrated in client applications or individual applications. We make the blockchain consulting. We make the smart contracting, as I said, with the Helios for public-private use. This will be a huge field also, public-private, because the public sector administration is, and I can tell you, I could go on for hours and days and telling you stories about administration, especially, for example, aviation, which is just unbelievable what is going on, which could have used a little bit help of the blockchains. Why Vrenelium? High level of security, a fast transaction confirmation. You don't have to wait 2 hours, 1 hour, 10 minutes, 50 minutes. It is here. Low transaction costs. They are virtually nil. It should be virtually nil due to the speed and to the procedures we have. It's sustainable and it's ecological. And we have this blockchain with the smart mempool. The core team is myself. I'm an attorney at law by profession, but in the last 25, 30 years, I was much more involved in economics, in business, startup founders, and on board of a lot of companies, national and international wise. Sasha Lawrence, he is a senior software engineer with specialization in big data and machine learning technology. He was in the last 10 years, he worked in the financial industry for hedge funds. He developed investment programs, security, and other procedures. He is a real connoisseur of what is going on. Moritz today is also a senior software engineer, but he is specialized in security and cryptography. In 2010, he developed some programs which are still used on web-based applications in processing big data. So he is Lorenz and today are the two of the technical side. Thomas Grant is an MBA head of communication. He was a co-founder on private radios. He worked long for television, national and international based. So we are the core team. We have, after this ICO, we will expand. We have the people technical wise and in the marketing there waiting for us to step in. We are open to the fundraising. We plan to go for an ICO, and I hope we are by the 0.5 ICOs and not by the 99 crash ICOs. But it's up to you. At the end of the day, at the end of 2018, the wallets and the blockchain are on the market. I know the story is not sexy, but we are a Swiss company. We don't want to give you promises. We want to deliver what we told you. Thank you very much.